Welcome. It is a Friday. I have a fruit in my drink because it is getting quite warm here in Southern California. Welcome to the regulars. I'm Cody Decker.
I'm Tanya Ray Fox. You made us these adorable drinks. Love them. A little something different today.
What with tequila today? I felt like it felt the mood, the festive mood of summer kind of hitting. I actually sunbathed a little bit out by the pool today.
Yeah.
Really, very Southern California day.
Franklin got to hang out, I saw.
Franklin got to hang out. I rode my bike like 12 miles today all over Santa Monica. And
yeah, that's impressive.
It was good stuff. Felt very good.
People don't realize
very hilly.
how bikeable Santa Monica is because not only can you bike in, like, obviously we have the bike lanes here, but also the beach.
Yep.
Like,
and Ocean Avenue has become like my favorite place to bike now. It's really
yes,
awesome.
You love to post yellow card.
I mean, what other fucking song should I pick?
I'm with you.
By the way, I was thinking this morning. I was thinking about, because you know how the show and the kind of the mood of the show, I've always think like I should open up the show one day with like a yacht rock or smooth jazz, like 1970s radio disc jockey.
Okay.
Be like, what's up, you cool cats? This is the regulars. It's Friday night here at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Here in Southern California, it's 5 p.m., but 5 p.m. somewhere, baby. That's right, regulars. Drink up, and we're going to talk some sports, maybe.
And then I come in. I'm going to do straight up. I'm going to do OG, like, late 90s, really loud, angry radio host where it's just like, hey, everybody.
Yeah, you got a Howard Stern this out. And I'm talking early Howard Stern, like quite racist early Howard Stern.
Well, let's be careful.
Listen, the man has mellowed out over the years.
Oh, no, I'm saying, I'm probably not going to lean into the racist angle, personally.
I hope not.
Feels off-brand.
I don't think it's a good idea. I mean,
feels off-brand.
Doesn't feel like you, considering the fact the person that I know that you are to be at this point.
It really does not. Yeah, no. But I wanted to tell anybody who's watching on Instagram, if you're watching this on Instagram, this is the tip. You will see the show perfectly unless you try to comment, which is not me dissuading you from commenting, but when you do, you have to go out and come back in if you want to see our faces.
Happens
Otherwise, you're just going to look at the middle of the screen.
I know how dumb it is. I did not create the Instagram algorithm. I blame Jesse Eisenberg like everyone else does. And at the end of the day, you comment on it, it zooms you in, you got to X out and go right back in.
What we need eventually is that, like, eventually we'll have cameras that switch between you and I that are in full 16:9 equivalent. You know, like there are those cameras where it's like if we had like somebody cutting to the shot rather than a 2-screen.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure we can figure something out.
Yeah, I'm sure we can.
I'm sure we can figure it out. This is a hell of a system that we got over here. I mean, and I'm just saying.
We need a director.
YOLO Live. If you want to reach out and figure out ways to improve our show, we're listening. Also, Tequila Brands. We were also listening.
Yeah, Tequila Brands, Sauvignon Blancs, stage directors, anybody, whatever you got.
By the way, a couple of things I'd like to bring up on the chat right now on YouTube before we begin the show. One thing first, it's not in the show rundown today.
Okay.
Angels legend Garrett Anderson passed away today.
Okay.
So just wanted to give a shout out to a World Series champion. I believe he accepted on behalf of the Angels the ESPY for best team that year. That's
what
right.
Year?
2002, I believe.
Oh, the year that they were good.
They won the World Series.
Yes.
So, Garrett Anderson sadly has passed away. And also, I did not do a Beetle and Decker today because I got a cancellation last second. Blame Rob Brown. Rob Brown is a friend of mine, friend of yours. You don't know him yet, but he's a friend of yours.
No, I like him. He's so sweet. He's the one with the southern accent, right? Yes.
Southern charm, the sweetest man in the world. That dude texted me 2 hours before the show started so that I could, and I almost got a replacement. I just couldn't get one in time. So
hey, listen, you can always call me and we can podcast
actually, it's
for
funny you
7
say that.
hours a day.
I was actually going to call you, but I was thinking, I'm like, we can't do that, can we? I actually probably should have. We could have done an extra show.
It would actually be so funny if you and I did a Beetle and Decker
and then
show
a regulars
where we do that vibe, but then we do our show and like see how it compares. Like,
I'm just saying we could do it
really
next Friday because
be
now Rob's on my shit list. I don't know if I want Rob back.
Out, Rob.
You're out. You had your shot. But no, got lots to cover today. A lot of actual sports things to cover that are, let's be real clear. It's a very slow sports news week.
You don't tell that to the audience. We tell this is the greatest stuff ever.
No. It's not about what we have. What we have is actually good and pertinent news.
Yeah.
It's not that at all. It's just the reason why I want to start with this really quick so we can just put a pin in it real quick. Just because you can't turn on with the exception of going to the networks. ESPN's not talking about it whatsoever. It's seemingly NFL not talking about it whatsoever. But everywhere else you go, it is the number one story in sports, and it's kind of baffling that it's going to become this big of a story. Not to mention all of the backlash that's happened surrounding the story, and that's of course Dianna Russini. Now people that were dancing on her grave. By the way, I know Dianna inexplicably dancing on her grave. That was a weird one to me.
You're talking about the writer that was
who was also then fired for her dancing on her grave, and then now she's going on a speaking tour for speaking her truth, of which the fuck I'm so tired
of these fake blonde white women coming out of the South and being like, you know what, I suddenly have a axe to grind, and I'm going to be loud and I'm going to capitalize on it. Like the idea, it's so funny because like in deciding to call Dianna everything under the sun and insult everything about her professionalism, which by the way, Dianna rose to the ranks of being the highest, like the most tapped in NFL woman insider in the industry, right? So I guess she just did that by accident, right? Never talent.
No, dude. It's because she slept with everybody. Right. That's why, right?
Yeah. So like. So
I'm kidding, by the way, in case somebody tries to pull this quote.
Yeah, and I will. Honestly,
if the Post gets this and throws out, Cody said this, very much in jest.
No, it is so weird to me how often this happens, and then it's like, okay, I hope you enjoy your 15 minutes of fame, because at the end of the day, this is going to blow over for someone who has actually put in nearly 2 decades of work to get where she was,
and is liked by a lot of people. Like, listen,
she was like Cody, that was the part that really bothered me, that I think everybody should know, which is that she was like, every woman in the industry knows about Dianna. Everybody, first of all, I've been in the industry. We have a ton of mutual friends. Dianna is very well liked as a person.
Very well liked.
She is friends. All the other famous women that are on her level. Michelle Beadle, Katie Nolan.
They're all
friends with her.
They're all friends.
And by the way, some of those people don't even get along with each other, and they're friends with Dianna.
By the way, I know Dianna not extremely well. Yeah. She's been on the show a few times.
Sure.
We've hung out in a group setting like once or twice. Dianna Russini could not have been nicer to me at any given moment. Even was like on a group text thread with me and Michelle for like a week after she was on our show a couple of times. Like, just the nicest person to me. Now, like, again, if you have an issue with what she did in her marriage, honest to God, mind your own fucking business.
Yeah.
That ain't your business. And honestly, you don't know shit, and I don't know shit. No one knows shit. And it's not, again, most importantly, not our business.
Right.
But that part is just...
That's weird.
It's weird.
It's like also
saying everyone knows this. We're all friends with her. We all like her.
And no one's friends with this girl.
By the way, the other thing that
where did you come from, girl?
By the way, the thing is, like, it's also people in the industry coming to her. When I say defense, I want to make this abundant. Like, people are like, well, they're refusing it. If Barstool even says, like, we like Dianna, she's been great to us. When Barstool and the other mainstream people are on the same page about somebody, I don't think you're right that she's reviled. She's not.
Yeah,
she's a very well liked person.
There's women on the Athletic Network that have a podcast there who are defending her. Like, people from the Athletic themselves are defending her. You know, so it's super odd. You as a woman trying to capitalize on another woman losing her job makes you look so much worse than anything Dianna did. Sorry. And also she's revealed her own shit. So it's just like, it's odd. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of people caring about other people's relationships in this way. Over it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Please, for the love of God, can something else in the sports world happen? Good news. We're here for exactly that. Headline number one. You guys want to talk about sports? I want to talk about sports because actually, not a small thing. Some people getting paid.
Absolutely.
And multiple sports, by the way. Yep. So headline number one, who's getting paid first, Tanya?
Well, the Texans have paid Will Anderson Jr. a record-setting 3-year, $150 million extension. So we're talking about $50 million a year on the value of the annual value of that contract, which puts him about $3.5 million more per year than Micah Parsons. And that's, so we always know it's going to get raised.
Yes.
The big thing about this contract is that he is very young. He's like 22, 23 years old. He's really young. So I can understand why he got paid what he got paid in terms of like that, or why they would make him a higher paid player, right? But here's the thing. So here's why I think that this is kind of an interesting story. When you reset the market, you always want to look at what exactly is happening. It has not always been the case that NFL, that edge rushers, which edge is like a newer term that we've started using in the last 10 years, mostly because of PFF. But it's a good qualifier because you could be an outside linebacker, you could be a defensive end, it sort of depends. But the edge position has now become the most lucrative defensive position in sports. Will Anderson is the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
These used to go to different positions. This is routinely becoming the edge position.
Yes. And they're also becoming stars and names in their own
Absolutely,
right. That's the other thing. Like that's not a thing that was an active thing in defensive players outside of LT.
Yeah, it would be like Lawrence Taylor. There'd be like, Reggie White or like whatever. There'd be really famous guys, but it wasn't a position where it's like every year. I mean, we're talking about Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, Micah Parsons. I mean, everybody's got someone. Max Crosby.
Each one of these dudes got their own podcast.
And they've all been in the news cycle in these big ways in the last like 6 months. So there's that aspect of it, which I find to be fascinating. The Texans also now have 2 of the highest paid defensive ends or defensive
that surprised me, by the way, when I read that third
in the entire league. Top 6, 2 of the top 6.
Yeah,
that is a big, interesting decision. So, what I want to talk to you about is, there's an argument being had among NFL insiders that part of what Will Anderson brings to the team is a locker room leadership presence.
Yes, brings a lot to the table. As a guy
that he's almost like a definitive presence. Like he's
those guys are extremely important. Like so, here's the thing: those guys this is why this guy must be this important to the team. And hear me out on this, because they have quote unquote locker room guys. I'm going to use baseball as an example because I want to once again say this. Organizations have labeled me a quote-unquote locker room guy. Does not mean every guy...
Hey, you're a locker room guy in this podcast. I'll believe it.
Thank you very much. But I want to make that also clear. Not every guy in my locker rooms liked me. And I did not like every guy in my locker room.
That would be crazy.
That's insane. No, a lot of guys didn't like how I was and how outspoken I was and loud and what all the shit I tried to do. Some guys really dug into it and bought into it. It's just, some guys it works, some guys it doesn't. But I was labeled very much a locker room guy. And one time the Diamondbacks actually told me they had actual metrics that actually showed my presence made teams better. And it wasn't that I was even playing in the games. He said, you joining these teams improve certain numbers.
I love that for you.
No, I didn't love that. That secured me being Crash Davis until I died. It was awful.
Hey, there's worse people you could be.
I'm not upset. The most nuanced and wise character in the history of sports cinema. When people try to say that at me as an insult, I immediately say thank you.
Susan Sarandon, right?
Obviously.
Yeah.
Baseball witch. Love me a witch.
Yes.
Love me a witch.
Sure do.
I can't stress this enough. But the thing about those guys, those locker room guys, and this is very key, and I'll give you another example, a guy like Kike Hernandez. Even though Kike is, during October...
He was great. I mean,
during October, he turns into a superhuman.
Yeah.
But like year to year, Kike Hernandez is not a star player on the Dodgers. He's 13th best offensive player on that team every year.
And he's also older now, right?
And he's older now. But his presence makes that team better. When you can have a guy whose presence is like that locker room guy... Oh, also, he's one of the best edge rushers in the league.
Yeah.
Those things don't happen in the same guy.
No.
And when that happens in the same guy, you know what you do? You pay the living fuck out of that guy.
Okay. And I agree with you. Like, I agree that there is absolutely, if there is a guy in the league who deserved this after the first 3 years of his career, it's Will Anderson. Through 3 years in the league, he is one of, like, if you go by approximate value, which is something I prefer over any larger metric or sort of comprehensive metric, is StatHead Pro Football Reference's approximate value. He's really only behind Myles Garrett in approximate value over the last 3 years among defensive ends. Now, there's some outside linebacker tends to actually accumulate more because they are doing a little bit more, like snap by snap. Okay. Just because of the position. But if you're going straight up by defensive end, he's really everything but Myles Garrett in the last 3 years. Okay. The consistency is we're gonna have to see that, right? Like, we're gonna have to see how he does over the course of time. Here's where I want to I'm gonna pose the question. This is not pocket watching. I am not saying that Will Anderson does not deserve to be paid. Okay. What I am saying is that I do wonder if the market is getting to a point of overvaluing these positions because of course, the quarterbacks are getting so good. you want an elite edge rusher, obviously.
Yes.
They are not landing them in Super Bowls. And that is like, I'm always fascinated by what we're investing in terms of like, of positions, right? Because we know the difference that certain positions can make. Myles Garrett is absolutely worth what he's worth. TJ Watt, Micah Parsons. You're not going to tell me that they're not. And also, where do we land on eventually like kind of painting themselves into a corner with these types of contracts? Because, for example, the Steelers have invested in TJ Watt. He is a superstar. He is the best player on that team, even with Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers is past his prime.
Yes.
But they currently have no quarterback because Aaron Rodgers will not commit to what he's doing. It's a total shit show. They have no quarterback.
It's always a shit show.
They've had no quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger was past his prime.
But honest question,
10 years ago.
honest question though, who were they going to get?
That's my point, though, is the reason that they have not been in the market for a real quarterback. Listen, Sam Darnold was out there. Daniel Jones was out there. All of these guys have gone on to be incredibly successful, and they could have been in the mix, and they're not.
Yeah, but at the time, to be fair, even though I agree that Sam Darnold should have been paid, especially because he just won 14 games, Daniel Jones
Daniel Jones would have been the best quarterback that they had signed.
No, I agree, but at the time, Daniel Jones looked like
at the time, but
reviled garbage.
But Cody, you have to remember who they've been starting.
You're not wrong.
Like that's
no.
I'm talking about over who
Mason
they have.
Rudolph. Yeah, as of now, he's their starter.
Right.
He is right. As of now?
I don't know.
I think he's on the team.
I genuinely don't know.
Yeah,
I just know that they don't have a starting quarterback for real.
How about this? Do they have any capital that would be like a wild thing where they actually trade up and get a quarterback? Or maybe they get like Ty Simpson, because last I checked, ESPN's really, really, really trying to make Ty Simpson a story. It's the most important story in the world, Ty Simpson. I hope he's good. So some of these analysts don't look like complete fucking morons, because this is all they've talked about for the last 4 months. Inexplicably, except for this week, everyone's talking about fucking WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But there is, I don't know, there's something off about these. The Browns have to figure out the quarterback position. I love that you have an edge rusher. You don't have a quarterback. The Steelers don't have a quarterback.
No.
The Packers do, but they traded for Micah Parsons once they had a quarterback. Fine, okay, I see what you did there. Obviously, he had a quarterback with Dak too. There were other issues, but I look at the Texans, right?
Yeah.
Think about the Texans. Think about what they were doing during the playoffs. So last season, they get into the playoffs. They had a good season. They get into the playoffs with the best defense in the league.
Absolutely.
The Patriots' offense was trash.
Yeah.
Truly just didn't do much throughout the playoffs. Their defense really stepped up. They went defense for defense. Guess whose defense won?
Patriots.
The Patriots.
I watched that game.
So your offense could have made a huge difference, and it didn't. And it's not because, yes, CJ Stroud was just brutal, but why was he brutal? If your defense is with all of these high-end players on the line and you're paying all these players, can't win you a game against the offense that was the New England Patriots in this playoffs, you're in trouble. And so it's this is the perfect example of what offense you think you're going to run up on that's less effective than the Patriots was last year.
Yes. I'm going to give you an answer I'm really excited to give you.
Oh, okay.
I'm really excited to give you this, because no broadcaster, no sports broadcaster, no analyst on television will say this to you. And this is the truth. And this is actually the answer for all of us. The answer to this question on if this is a good idea.
I know what you're going to say.
I don't fucking know. And no one does.
Yeah.
You know why we don't know? It's a cap situation in that league. They're trying to find different ways to invest money in different spots to see what actually hits. There's not enough of a sample size, quite frankly, in the NFL in the last couple of years, especially as the game continues to change. So people are trying to be innovators, and it's not that the edge rusher doesn't deserve the money. It possibly does. They're running into 90 car crashes a game. I get it. It's also the fact that, how valuable are they? I don't know. I don't have all the metrics yet, because I don't think they all have all the metrics yet.
I have a theory on when this happened and why it happened, when this started.
I'm listening. Please give me your theory.
It was the 2015 Broncos.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yes, because that was a defense that won a fucking Super Bowl. Because Peyton Manning's neck was put together with duct tape.
They had, and their defensive line was insane. Their defensive line, it wasn't just Von Miller. They had Demaryius Thomas.
Absolutely right. That game opened on a fucking safety, man.
Yes. They just destroyed Cam Newton.
Everything about him was destroyed.
Yeah, and like
that ended his career.
But he was.
Game.
I mean, they had already earlier in the season done. They were just like they were actually getting away with horrifying penalties on people. Like they were a menace of a defensive line, and that defense single-handedly won a Super Bowl against Cam Newton in a nearly unanimous MVP season, a 15-1 Panthers team. And they were dragging Peyton Manning by his neck. I
completely agree. And by the way, that is as good of a theory as ever. Because the moment you said, I'm like, you're right. No, absolutely. Like, here's the thing. That's the thing you're never going to fucking hear on ESPN.
Yeah.
None of these motherfuckers know. Not one of them. Not one of them knows. They'll give you their theories. They'll give you your points, and they'll shout them at you as if it's absolutely from the hand of God handed to them. No. We don't know. I'm interested to find out which one of these teams that pays an edge rusher the most wins the Super Bowl first. Is it because the edge rusher played a part? I would also like to see the data that actually supports that.
Yes.
Also, I can make the argument that right now I find a running back to be the most important position in football just as much as the quarterback. Specifically because a running back needs to handle the clock. You need somebody that can handle the clock for the entire fourth quarter. Thus, the running back's really, really fucking important. Why have we devalued said position? Because they break down really easily and it's a short-term thing, so the investment period is just not available.
I mean, they keep saying that, but then it's like Saquon.
But Saquon wins a Super Bowl the first year he goes out.
And then Derrick Henry, they finally get him with a quarterback that's a great match for him at age 30. He has an over 2,000 yards.
Terrell Davis, you're speaking about the Broncos. Terrell Davis, his run was short. But for those couple of years that Terrell Davis was Terrell fucking Davis, that man was the most scary running back in the league. And that league, by the way, also had Jerome Bettis at the time, the fucking bus. Yeah. That man terrified me.
Yeah, and I do think that there's a lot of people who are chasing they see what they have in offensive personnel, and they're like, what if we have just an absolutely menacing, hard-hitting defense? The difference is, these guys, to their credit, they just play the game a lot safer. Yeah. I just looked it up. This was their defensive line: Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware, Malik Jackson, and Derek Wolfe were all on the same defense. They had Aqib Talib and Chris Harris Jr. They had Brandon Marshall and Danny Trevathan.
You make a good point, dude.
This is insane. This team was nuts. To have Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware, and Malik Jackson is nuts.
Yes. Yeah, that was
and
stupid.
By the way, if you ever watched the video of the fumble around the world where Cam Newton didn't jump on the ball.
Yes.
If you ever watch the video again, you can see he fumbles the ball, and now he's previously taken an unflagged hit to the head and another one from both Malik Jackson and Von Miller this season. That's what happened to
famously small people.
Yeah, to Cam Newton. He used to take hits. They used to take hits.
Dude, he used to take the worst hits ever.
Yeah, and he never it's statistically that he would not get called for hits to the head, dangerous hits all the time.
I wonder why.
So now the ball's in front of him. He has two choices. Pretend he's going to dive and not dive, or dive and right there, ready to nail him in the head as he is defenseless, bending down, you can see them surrounded: Malik Jackson, DeMarcus Ware, and Von Miller. I choose life as well.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Greg Jennings video. It's like putting the team on my back. Here's Cam Newton going in, looking to try to put the team on his back in the Super Bowl. That's right. He's going to jump on this fumble. And look, oh no, here comes... Well, who were the players again?
I don't know.
No, they're the players that were surrounding the
Malik Jackson.
Yeah. Here comes Malik Jackson, Von Miller, and DeMarcus, the scariest men in the game. Oh shit! What is he gonna do? He's gonna let those motherfuckers get into that ball, because what the fuck is he gonna do? He's gonna die if he gets in there.
Legitimately, and there was he already knew. He's like, y'all keep letting them hit me in the head. I'm not trying to die.
Sorry, can't put the team on your back in this situation. It ain't a Greg Jennings video, man.
I think the Texans might have a delusions of the 2015 Broncos, and to their credit, that defense is
nasty.
Sick.
It's
but
nasty.
That defense couldn't beat the Patriots.
Listen, it's one game. I can't give outlier games. I'm interested. I'm interested to see what I like that edge rushers are getting paid. Now I look forward to what the next trend is going to be.
Yeah, because even Aaron Donald, who's one of the greatest like interior defensive linemen, I mean, he could rush the quarterback from inside, right? Like to be able to do that from the defensive tackle position was incredible. Aaron Donald to me is the best defensive player of an entire generation, one of the greatest of all time, and he still couldn't win a Super Bowl. Like, I mean, they made it there, and I love that. They made it when they had Jared Goff, but they did not win a title until they had a legitimately like great fit for quarterback, and that was Matthew Stafford. So no matter how good Aaron Donald was, Aaron Donald, freak of nature, one of the greatest to ever do it, they needed Matthew Stafford.
I agree. Listen, yeah. It's just, I like the news. I like the trend. We'll see where it goes. Let's get to headline number 2.
Yeah.
Because
I did this for you and for me. Because
I actually appreciate you throwing this in there.
I'm excited about this.
I appreciate you throwing this in here for a couple of reasons.
Okay.
One, there's a selfish reason. As you know, Mike Trout, who is a 3-time American League MVP with the Los Angeles, don't call me Anaheim Angels.
Yeah.
Is one of the greatest baseball players of all time.
Yep.
However, there is one award Mike Trout does not have, and that would be the 2009 AZL Rookie League MVP. Unfortunately, Mike Trout was the runner-up that year at the age of 18 years old. He lost to a whippersnapper, 22-year-old senior sign out of UCLA. Daddy for 3 months was better than Mike Trout. Mike knows it. Mike, you know it. We talked about it not too long ago.
That's really great.
For 3 months, your boy was better than Mike Trout. After those 3 months, he was the best fucking player who ever lived because for 3 months I was slightly better, and that motherfucker took it personally and decided no one's ever going to be better than me.
Are you the reason that he has 3 MVPs?
Let alone this sack of shit slub over here is never again. So Mike Trout is decided he woke up this year and said, you know what? I do remember that time Cody won an MVP over me for 3 months in the AZL.
I am obsessed with you taking credit for him and his comeback.
You're welcome. I gave you Mike Trout. I will fucking die on that hill.
Guys, listen, the topic is that Mike Trout might be back.
He's so good. He's so good.
And I didn't even know when I put this in here.
Mike Trout is one of the greatest players I have ever
100%.
been on a field with, seen do anything.
Yeah.
And I mean that, like, honest to God, until... Like, I honestly firmly believed, like, I thought it was going to go Barry Bonds is the greatest I ever watched, and then Mike Trout is the greatest I ever played with during my generation. And then, of course, Ohtani showed up, which that's fucked. Ohtani just happened to, and they played in the same city, and he overshined him there.
Same
and now
city,
he's in,
on the same
I'm
team.
talking about the same team, and now in the same sister city, and I'm calling it the actual city because Orange County and Los Angeles is simply not the same city. It drives me absolutely batshit that they do this. That being said, I cannot stress enough how good Mike Trout is.
Yeah.
Also, can't stress this enough. Mike Trout, sweetheart, absolute sweetheart.
Yeah, I
love him to death.
So it's funny because Mike Trout is, despite the fact that some people don't watch baseball, everybody kind of knows at least Mike Trout's name. But he's not like the most. He certainly doesn't have the face recognition of some like Shohei Ohtani.
In Orange County.
But also you never hear a goddamn thing about the man, and he certainly has been famous enough in the baseball world to, if there was something bad to say about him, you'd hear about it. And
he's awesome.
Philly guy too, right? So
he is. I
love a Philly guy.
And by the way, those of you that have turned on, sadly, ESPN this week, you might have heard this brand new argument. Pretty great stuff. And I think it went something like this. Mike Trout, you need to demand a trade.
We've been saying this for 16
That's a really
years.
cool narrative fucking 7 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
Dipshit. I can't stress this enough. If Mike Trout wants to leave the Anaheim Angels, Mike Trout can leave the Anaheim Angels. That has been the case for a decade. I don't know what else to say.
No, there's if Mike Trout wanted to be in Philly or New York, he'd be in Philly or New York. You know what he doesn't want? Those media markets. He does not want them.
At this point, why? He's making $430 million.
And people do not understand that LA is such an easy media market.
And by the way,
so easy.
And he's not even in LA.
No, I know.
He's in Orange County.
Even the Dodgers media is nothing compared to New York and Philly and Chicago.
But Dodger media is seriously
No, I'm not saying they're not serious.
They're fucking
no.
But they're such a big story. Dodgers are such a story that Trout.
That's not what I'm saying.
Exist.
That's not what I'm saying. The media, the toxicity, the intensity of the media around
completely agree.
New York, Philly, Boston, Chicago, it's not the same in Los Angeles.
I agree with you on that. However, when the Lakers are bad and the Dodgers are bad, shit here. Like people are.
It's not the same.
It's
Cody.
not the same because I think there's so many transplant people in the city.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
I surround myself with
it's
a
not
lot
the
more
journalists.
locals.
It's not like everybody here is
I'm
like,
around more locals though.
Sure, but I'm talking about the like you. I mean, you talk to players. Like you know which media markets scare the fuck out of certain players.
New York,
yes,
New York,
like,
Philly, Boston.
Chicago, yeah.
Although Chicago's a little bit more friendly.
They're Midwestern.
Yeah,
but those Northeast, like it takes a specific kind of player to handle that deal because it's not you can literally
right
be having an MVP season, but if you have a bad game, like I mean they don't have cut you any slack. But I wanted to go over a little bit about what's going on with Mike Trout because this is the stuff that we fucking live for as sports fans, as people who cover sports. Is you have an all-time great, a first ballot Hall of Famer, an all-timer, someone one of the greatest in their sport.
So good.
Suddenly we talk about this with LeBron. We've talked about it with Tom Brady. We've talked about it with Serena Williams and Simone Biles when they are late in their careers and are doing superstar shit.
Yeah.
It's fucking fun. So Mike Trout last year, bad year. The main difference between last season's strong start and this year's early results is the contact he's making. Trout has cut his strikeout rate to 21.4%. His swinging strike rate is down to 6%. Perhaps most importantly, Trout has an overall 84.4% contact rate and a 93% in-zone contact rate, and those are the best marks of his 16-year career. Now, it's a small sample, but this man already has 3 MVPs. The best marks of his career in those major hitting statistics is really fascinating. And that's not even to mention the fact that he just had an absolutely iconic showdown with Aaron Judge in this New York Yankees series.
What a weekend that was.
Incredible.
Huh?
They were setting records. They matched, I think it was DiMaggio and Mickey Mantle in terms of combined home runs by 2 players in a series. Like, we're talking about iconic shit. This is good for baseball. Aaron Judge, for him to be in the mix now, back with Aaron Judge. Another record that they set was that the first time the 2 MVPs had faced off and done certain things in that series as well.
No, it was badass.
Like, so sick.
It's 2 multi-time MVPs, 2 first ballot Hall of Famers, 2 just legends.
2 of the greatest of their
of
the
their
era,
generation,
baseball,
if not ever.
Now, I mean, Mike Trout is still a league ahead of Aaron Judge in terms of
I still think that. I still think that as well.
I do think that mostly because you know how much I care about career WAR. As an all-time indicator, I think career WAR is one of the greatest all-time indicators in any sport that we have because it gives you such a sense of the length of their impact and the historic nature of their impact because baseball goes so far back. And so when you look at the people, it's an interesting thing because it has the all-time old people who you and I discount because they were pre-integration.
They were pre-integration, and they also, it was just a different game.
But you understand, but it's like all the right people. Every time a stat has all the right people where they should be in terms of what we understand about the sport, it's a really good sign for a cumulative statistic in that way, right? And Mike Trout has, for the most of his career at this point, which is crazy, been the player in the in Major League Baseball with the highest active WAR. Now, yes, it is a cumulative stat. What?
You almost said the MLB, and I saw you correct yourself before you said it. I appreciate that.
Oh,
I appreciate you doing that.
But like, well, because sometimes I say MLB or Major League Baseball. But
honestly, it doesn't bother me, but I love that some people have such a pet peeve that saying the MLB, it's not the Major League Baseball. I'm like, guys, shut the fuck up.
So many people in NBA. No, but I know it's Major League Baseball, guys. But it's been like that for a long time that he's been on top. Like it's been just recently that. So he's the highest active player with 88.8 career WAR. Yeah. The next closest active player is Justin Verlander at 81.7, and after that it's Mookie Betts at 75.3. 88 career WAR, and this man, like, I mean, to give everybody a sense of like what that is in the modern age, you can't really get to those numbers anymore because of like just the length of players. You know, I mean, Babe Ruth's numbers and like Walter Johnson's numbers at the top of this list are never going to be caught because the game is so different. And again, they play against people who aren't white.
And remember, Babe Ruth never saw a ball thrown faster than 82.
By the way, just while we're here,
sure.
For the people who think Barry Bonds juiced his way into being the greatest player of all time, which I don't think he did.
He didn't.
I think he's the greatest player of all time.
I agree.
And if you think it's not him, it's Willie Mays. Either way.
Probably. Or Ken Griffey Jr.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Could be Hank Aaron, but it could not be.
Could also be Hank Aaron.
Either way, think about how good Mike Trout is. Think about how fucking good Mike Trout is.
I do on a daily basis.
The whole career, just fucking good. His whole career.
He's never
MVP.
not been anything
He's
but.
never been anything but one of the best players in baseball. Barry Bonds' career WAR was 163.
Yeah, it was fucking stupid.
163. What are you talking about?
You have to understand, Barry Bonds, like, just his walks alone probably got him 100 extra WAR.
Like Mike Trout, as incredible all time as he is, would have to play another fucking 10 years at this level to do that. Like, that's insane.
Yes.
Anyways, so this is all to say that, like, to have a player of Mike Trout's caliber having this like resurgence, even me, like, I am a more than casual baseball fan and I've covered the sport, but I am not sitting down watching baseball every single day.
Mike Trout,
it makes
you need to demand a trade. I'm the first person to ever say that.
I love when he comes up with something 10 years later.
I'm running for president.
Like, wait, hold on. Do you also think that LeBron should play fewer minutes? What else? What other hot takes do you have? Like, but it is really, it's awesome because it makes me want to, I'm like, wait, I want to be watching Angels Yankees. Like,
yeah.
And that's not something I normally want to be doing. Yeah, absolutely.
No, Mike Trout is
when you have an all-timer, a GOAT of an era doing this shit this far into their career, we're all suckers for nostalgia. We don't have a ton left to fucking hang on to.
Dude, I'm telling you.
And for him
He's
to be playing at an MVP level.
And by the way, watch it now because listen, I'm not saying this because I hope this happens. I hope it doesn't happen. I hope he continues playing like at this clip at 100 and honestly 178 games. I hope they get to the playoffs, which they won't. I hope Mike Trout plays in a playoff. It's not going to happen. But the injury bug's got him over the last couple of years. The age is up there. It's a grind,
it's not even his age. It's how long he came into the league so young.
He did, but he's also, what is he, 35 now?
34.
34?
Yeah.
That's...
But I mean, like,
dude,
if you think
I retired at 32 and they were calling me Pops in my clubhouse.
No, I understand that, but... And as much as I know that you were better than him for 3 months, you are not Mike Trout.
Excuse me. I was 2 years younger and they were calling me Pops. And for 3 months, I was better than fucking Mike Trout.
And I'm sure they call
How
Mike
many
Trout
other people in the world were better than Mike Trout in 3 months? I'll fucking wait. I will fucking wait.
That is so...
Name it.
That's valid. And I was impressed.
For 3 months, I'm the greatest player who ever fucking lived, as far as I see it.
And you know what? I'm not taking that away from you. I am not. I do
because
think...
he is.
I think he has a little more juice. But... You know, because he came in so young, he's 34, but he's been in the league since 2011.
I know.
Like, that's insane, you know? It's really that's like...
The guy's crazy. Can I tell you a theory, though? You mentioned something that I want to get this on record now on this theory that I have. I think we need a larger sample size. It's the first year of ABS. The contact rate that you mentioned, the contact rate in the zone and the not chase out of the zone.
Yeah.
I think this is actually going to be a trend in Major League Baseball. And certain players, such as like a Mike Trout and people who have a mastery of the zone, the way certain guys, it's going to show in their numbers. I think we're going to see a certain uptick by the end of the year in numbers because of the ABS system. I think we're going to see less chase out of the zone because of the ABS system.
Okay.
I think it's going to shrink certain...
I guess that would be an inevitable potential.
But here's the thing. I think it's going to be a give-take. I think this can only be like for a year or two, and I think pitchers are going to start utilizing a different part of the zone, such as this upper part of the zone is not exactly a part of the zone hitters are used to kind of going after.
Right.
I think this is going to be an interesting couple of years with the ABS system until they eventually just say, fuck it, we're going to go full automated.
Right.
But as of right now, I think I wouldn't be shocked
that
the ABS system will give a little uptick in offensive numbers this season.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then the course correction makes sense as well. Yeah.
So I think it's going to last I think it's going to be a little boom. I think it's going to level out, maybe go down a tick.
Which happens in every, whether it's ABS or something else, whenever there is a new innovation in any capacity, whether it's a scheme thing, whether it's whatever in every sport.
It's my theory and hypothesis right now. I'm looking forward to seeing what the numbers look like after. If we're doing ABS for 3 years, I look forward to seeing each year what they look like.
And also, what's the sustainability of this over like where you know, however long into the season, like what does everything look like after All-Star break? Like that's the fun thing about this.
Also, winter umpire is just going to say uncle, and we're going to get rid of.
Well, we're getting replacement refs. I think we're getting replacement refs in the NFL. So we're gonna.
All right, let's get to headline number 3 because I know you're excited to talk about this for multiple reasons. You love you some NBA.
I put NFL playoffs. This is not a Celtics category.
Whatever. It's
we
Eastern
have to talk
Conference.
About you're such a little dick.
I know what you're doing.
It's the NBA playoffs. Just because your team is going to lose in the first round is not my problem. We're still have to talk about the NBA playoffs.
LeBron might be old LeBron and carry the team.
Listen, I'd
for
fucking
an entire
love that.
week.
You know I would love that.
And if he does that, maybe Luka and Austin can. Actually, I would believe Luka can get back in the next week. I don't believe Austin can.
Yeah.
I do. I've had an oblique injury. That shit is bad.
I've had an oblique injury, and I wasn't even an athlete at the time.
But make no mistake, a hamstring is fucking bad. But he went over to Europe. You know what that means. He'll be back in a week.
Yeah. He's going to get that, like...
He got that Kobe treatment, baby.
Yeah, we love that.
He got some injections over there we just don't get over here.
Well, the reality is the 2026 NBA playoff picture is going to be fully set by tonight, but it's mostly set. We're going to find out with the final play-in games who the Pistons are playing. The Pistons are either going to play the Heat or... No, sorry, wait, who is it? Oh God, I can't even remember.
I'm so sorry. Here, I'll pull it up real quick.
Pistons
all right, so we got Pistons versus
Heat
number 8 to be determined.
Okay.
We have Celtics taking on the fighting 76ers.
I'm trying to figure out who is the TBD of the.
It's Heat and who won that game? Holy shit!
The Hornets.
The Hornets won that game, but they're done.
Right.
The Heat got bumped down to the second game against...
Who are they playing?
I didn't even watch the second game.
No,
I didn't give a shit.
I just had it in my head. Who are they playing? Who are the Heat playing tonight? Who? Anybody?
Is it Orlando?
Maybe?
Did Orlando even win that game? I didn't even watch that game. I didn't care.
Oh, God. I don't know.
Oh,
Either
stop
way.
It. Like you're acting like you're unprofessional for this, as if everyone else in the world is in exactly this exact spot. I'm just waiting for the play to be over.
I know the West. Tonight, the Suns are playing the Warriors.
Yay.
So
I would like to see the Warriors move forward, just to get more Steph against OKC.
Yeah. And so I'm rooting for the Suns for Chris, but like it's sort of just, I mean, Chris is perfectly happy to root for the Celtics too, but either way, that'll be who the Thunder get, is either the Suns or the Warriors. And then, so we know the rest of the, you got them in front of you. I got them in front of me. I'm going to let you start. What do you think of these first round series? Which one do you think is going to be the best series?
Do you really want me to answer this question?
The best series. Yeah, of course. I say best series. Not your favorite. What do you think is going to be the best series to watch, basketball-wise?
I'll be freely honest with you. I think there's only one good series in this entire thing.
That's fair. I understand.
And I hate to say that.
Okay.
Because it's not that I don't think there are, like, I love watching the Pistons and the Celtics play. No,
we're talking about series, and I understand that. It's the first round, so these are going to feature a lot of, like, lower-level teams. So who do you got?
But believe it or not, it's not Lakers-Rockets because of the situation the Lakers are in.
No, everybody knows.
I'm watching that with intrigue.
It's Wolves-Nuggets. Everybody
knows.
And I'm
very... Wolves Nuggets is a fucking jam. Yeah. Inject into my veins.
It's kind of a bummer.
Jam.
It's almost like a bummer that we're going to get Wolves Nuggets in the first round. Like, this sucks.
Jam. Like, this is such a good game and series that I can't wait to watch this.
Yeah, like I'm bummed that we're going to lose one of these teams this early, quite honestly, because I think the rest of the field is a little rough.
The Nuggets
outside
are
going to
win.
Yeah. I think they are.
The Nuggets are going to win.
So
and the Timberwolves should not be a first fucking knockout.
Like, that's
the
so
Nuggets
it's like,
are just.
And you can see it being a 6-7 game series. I mean, when they've played in the past, it's gone down to the wire. I completely agree. I do think Lakers-Rockets is interesting, but only because LeBron and KD are facing each other.
Can LeBron somehow carry?
Because supposedly the Rockets all hate
team.
each other, by the way. That's like the word on the street is that the Rockets team all fucking hate each other, which is insane. And so Kevin Durant has to pull all these little idiots together to try to work. I don't know.
All right, good luck.
Right. Yeah. Spurs, Trailblazers does nothing for me. Thunder versus either Suns
if the Lakers. Question for you: if the Lakers beat the Rockets right now, which all of us are expecting the Lakers get knocked out. Yeah, if the Lakers beat who's getting fired over there? Someone's head's gonna roll. We started the season saying the Rockets are going to win the West.
It's crazy because like the team has been really well constructed. Ime is a good coach. Like, I don't know who.
It's very well known he's a good coach.
Yeah, so, like, I don't know.
But then again, Tom Thibodeau's a good coach. He took his team to the Eastern Conference Finals to the 6th game and also got fired.
I think that was stupid, though. Like, I do think that was a bad call.
I think this league has been a little more. I would say that this league is the most batshit league when it's come to firings lately.
Oh, no, you don't know the NHL.
You are right. I don't know the NHL.
They're insane.
Enough. I don't know the NHL well enough.
But you are right that it's been a lot lately.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we kind of just said the obvious one. Everybody's going to watch Nuggets, Timberwolves. No one gives a fuck about these other
I don't care about most of these matchups.
The best one in the East is probably Cavs Raptors, and like that's not saying much.
But it's Cavs
right?
and Raptors.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. Like
the Sixers not having Embiid.
These series will be interesting if if a couple of them happen to go further into the distance to give some intrigue. But I don't see it happening.
Yeah, and even then when that happens, a lot of times it just feels like it's fluky. It's like, oh, you're just like sleeping a little bit and then they win anyway.
Like here's the thing. Like the 3 versus 6 should be a series, but even the Knicks, as disappointing they've been towards the final stretch, I don't see a universe that the Hawks beat them.
No, me neither.
Like that doesn't feel like a series.
No,
to me.
all of the East feels like the 1 seed is kind of a lock.
Yeah.
And whereas like it's a little bit like the Lakers, Rockets. I don't see the Timberwolves beating the Nuggets. We are still so new to the Nuggets being fully healthy that I think this is the series that's going to set the tone.
I mean, it's Ant versus Joker.
It's so fun.
I'm watching.
It's so fun.
This is the one that, obviously, I'm watching every Laker game, but
tonight. The one thing, so I think it's at the game's at 7. Suns Warriors is going to feature everyone's favorite showdown. Draymond Green versus Dillon Brooks.
That is worth watching.
About that.
That is
those two
watching.
Fucking hate each other, and
shit.
Draymond always somehow gets the best of Dillon Brooks.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. Did you see the goddamn highlight of Steph Curry from the game the other day?
Yeah, put him to bed.
With that pass to Draymond behind the look, but back, no look, turn around, get it back. First of all, I love that because so many people really, really underestimate the importance of Draymond's game. Draymond is such an elite fucking basketball player.
Yeah,
and his chemistry
he always has been. He's just getting older.
But
that's
his chemistry with Steph Curry at this point is a really beautiful thing. We have very little.
It's like symbiotic.
It's gorgeous, and like that. And it was so funny because I had just been talking about this with someone where they're like, "Man, I don't want the fucking Suns to play the Warriors. You just don't want to play Steph Curry in the playoffs." And I'm like, "You guys can handle it. You can do it." Then I saw that highlight, and I was like, oh God, he's such a, because it's like when Tom Brady gets the ball in the last 2 minutes, you could have been winning the whole game, but you're just afraid.
Yeah, but by the way, the other thing I do want the Warriors to win this because I think OKC is going to obliterate them.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not against watching a passing of the torch series.
No.
Let's watch
that. And the thing is, this is probably, how many playoffs are we going to get Steph, KD, and LeBron still in it? You know what I mean? So it's great.
So we got to get it in
there. All right, next one. Which star out of this whole field has the most at stake this postseason?
You want my honest opinion? Fucking none of them.
No, no. Don't be a weird little bitch, okay? You can do this.
No, because it doesn't fucking...
Okay, I'm going to say it.
All right, fine. Jason Tatum, because if they fucking go to the finals... Everyone will have to shut the fuck up about Jason Tatum.
They will
and
not.
That enough is for me.
They will not.
They will. I have to assume they have to.
That's.
He comes back from an Achilles tear a year, 6 months ahead of schedule. No. If he takes them to the finals and miraculously wins the finals, everyone needs to shut their goddamn mouths for the rest of their lives.
Well, I definitely do think it has to be a someone who's been playing a while. It can't be Wemby. Jesus Christ. No. I don't care. I'm never going to be somebody who's oh, you're 2-3 years into your career, you have something to prove. I'm not that guy. I think that there is a element of how Shai Gilgeous-Alexander plays that could potentially be a big deal for him because as good as he is, he's going to win another MVP. He just still has a lack of real vibe with NBA fans in terms of people being
he's boring.
There's just a legacy missing quality to his game.
He's not that
and part of it
guy.
Is because of the way he's officiated. I think that if he is officiated in a way that pisses fans off all season, all series long, all postseason long, that is going to affect his legacy. On the flip side, I actually think if we're going to go Celtics, which I think is fair, I think it's Jaylen Brown. I think Jaylen Brown, because he has been in the mix for MVP this season, because he held it fucking down for the Celtics. Do I think it is reasonable? No. But to your point with the Jason Tatum, do I think either one of them has anything to prove? No. Do I think that what he has at stake is like, can you stay the A option on the Celtics through the postseason in a season where you carried the team? That changes a little bit of his legacy next to Jason Tatum. Do I think that that's ever going to change the fact that Jason Tatum is actually 1A and he's 1B? No. But I think that the way he performs in this postseason and the fact that Jason Tatum is so willing to defer to him, like, you don't get a fucking star with the qualities that Jason Tatum has that is willing to defer to you the way that he does. I mean, like, this is the only thing that I can think of is when LeBron played with Kyrie.
No, I hear what you're saying, but here the only thing I want to push back on is a phrase you've said a couple of times, and I understand why you say it because it's something that sports fans care about so much, and it drives me insane. Legacy. We should never be talking about anybody's legacy while they're playing because it doesn't fucking matter. They don't have a legacy. They're currently playing. Their legacy is what they leave behind.
Yeah, no one. That's the whole point.
I know, but
it's a projection.
But I hate projecting legacies because it's just. Why don't we just watch the sports? Like, why don't we just enjoy the teams?
This is sort of like complaining about speed bumps. Like, they're just not going anywhere.
It's just so dumb, though. I don't. If Jason Tatum's going into this game, or if Kyrie would go into a game, or if KD's going into this game against the Lakers, or if LeBron's going into this game against the Rockets going, this is for my legacy.
Well, we already know LeBron.
Honest to God, they can all go fuck themselves.
Yeah, but that's disingenuous because none of these, we're not saying these players should be thinking about their legacy.
I agree. It's just like,
that's not like, I'm not like Jaylen Brown's got to be thinking about it.
Why are we doing this?
Are you one of these people that is like, I can't believe people like pineapple on pizza?
No, I love pineapple on pizza.
I know,
it's fantastic.
But like, this is very much a like,
it's just like everyone's just like,
do you also hate when
we're going into the playoffs. You know what's important? The playoffs, not any of these motherfuckers' legacies.
Do you also have a problem when people talk about Mount Rushmores? Oh, hot take. I don't think anybody should fucking care about
No.
greatest
You know why I don't
players
like?
of all
No,
time.
actually, I will tell you why I don't like talking about Mount Rushmores. Because if somebody's talking about a Mount Rushmore, it means they don't have fucking thoughts in their heads.
Pedantic.
No, it means they're dumb. It means you shouldn't watch them. It means you should change the channel. It means they can't comprehend talking about nuanced topics.
I think Mount Rushmores can be nuanced if the person who's talking about them understands what the fuck they're talking about.
But they never are. That's why you and I never talk about Rushmores. We could for days, but go through all of our shows and find me the Rushmore episode.
I am just saying the complaint.
You're hearing what I'm saying,
No,
and you think I might be getting to you.
The only people who complain about this shit
I'm right.
are like pedantic pain in the asses.
You're hearing me?
You sound like the guys in my comments who are like,
fucking
well, actually, I actually really don't think that we're really
I
getting
think
anywhere
I'm
with
the
this conversation.
opposite. No, it's those people that are like, well, I think this guy should be on the Rushmore. I think Rushmore shouldn't be in the goddamn conversation. How about that?
Well, actually, I just don't understand why we're talking about legacy. The
I
players
don't want
are
to.
still playing.
No. Let's talk about playoffs. And yeah. Oh man, this matchup. Well, his legacy's on the line. No, it's fucking not.
All I said was, who do you think has the most at stake this postseason?
No, I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at the world for this.
Who do you think's making the NBA Finals?
Who gives a fuck?
So this is what I'm saying. Make a prediction.
Honestly,
put it on record.
On record, Celtics OKC.
Celtics OKC.
Yeah,
all right.
I think they're the two best teams in the league right now, and I would love to see Detroit. That by the way, but I think the Celtics would be fun.
I know. I would be down with Detroit. I do think at this point you kind of have to pick the Celtics. They're just the hottest team in the East. It is what it is. So I'm gonna go, and I'm not. I promise you, this is not a hot take. I think the fucking Nuggets are gonna make the finals, dude. They're so hot. They're so hot right now. It's like the stats are insane.
He's so hot right now.
He's so hot. I saw Jokic wearing a do-rag earlier. Something about that seems like he's really getting into some shit.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
So I think the Thunder are primed for a weird matchup issue. I don't know if they're going to get it. Obviously, it depends on how these things go. But if the Thunder do end up getting like a weird matchup issue, I could see something happening in the Eastern Conference Finals. And I still think the Spurs are too young. I think they're going to get got by a more experienced.
I think you're right.
So if it's not the Thunder, it's Nugs, and I'm going to take Nugs. So our predictions aren't crazy, but we have them on record. And so I don't know what we'll do with that, but they're there.
Well, all that matters
and
is
Cody's legacy is on the line. Cody's legacy is on the line now.
Joker's legacy is on the line.
No,
that man who's rocking do-rags
Cody, your legacy's on the line.
How is my legacy on the line?
Because we just made predictions. Who knows what could happen?
It's all about legacies.
It's all about your legacy.
It's all about legacies. Who cares about the playoffs?
Exactly.
It's all about KD's legacy. All right. Media corner. All right. Tanya.
Yeah.
A big story this week. And listen, we had the WNBA draft. It was great. The ladies showed out. Everybody, UCLA made some history. Pretty sweet.
It's great. Yeah.
As a Bruin, I really enjoy that.
Yeah, I know.
AZ Fudd won first overall. Great stuff.
AZ Fudd went first overall.
Great stuff. She's
something that was projected. Not a lot of people super surprised by that.
Cool. So here's the thing. AZ Fudd, who should be obviously getting a lot of questions about her play and her joining the team, is joining the team with Paige Beckers, famously her girlfriend.
And someone she played with at UConn for years.
And won championships with.
Yep.
No. I'm not trying to insinuate anything.
I was just adding it.
I'm just giving the facts.
I was adding it in. That's all I was saying. Just for people. Sometimes people aren't locked in. But my mom might not know who AZ Fudd is, and she's watching the podcast.
But now, WNBA in a bit of a massive boom right now. WNBA's never been hotter ever. And by the way, it's not just the Caitlin Clarkson, the Angel Reeses. There's all these other names.
Paige Beckers and AZ Fudd. Yeah.
Paige Beckers and AZ Fudd. And obviously, this is, listen, as much as I want to sit here and say, I'm above this, it is relatively intriguing as someone that is an athlete. Now, I'm not saying there weren't other examples of couples that have played together. In fact, there's been an example in the WNBA who won a championship together.
An example, babe.
Many examples. But there have been famous examples that have won championships together.
Diana Taurasi and Penny Taylor.
So there's, but here's the thing. When she gets drafted, the question is arise. However, it seems that a controversy has kind of arisen out of the questioning because the team itself has reportedly put out a ban on asking the question about their relationship. Tanya, I just wanted to give full context to this point. Yeah. Add any extra context and take it away.
Yeah. So the controversy began with the Kevin Sherrington of the Dallas Morning News asking Paige Beckers out the gate at her introductory press conference to the Dallas Wings, how do you feel about, essentially the question was, have you and Paige gone to other couples in the WNBA to seek out guidance on how to handle that dynamic? And she kind of looked like she knew what was coming. She's like, and the PR stepped in and said, I understand you got to ask or why you asked the question, but we're not answering questions about that situation at this time.
Okay.
And that was shut down. Now, there was an immediate backlash from a lot of WNBA fans who said that it was an inappropriate question, didn't like the question, didn't like it as a introductory question. There was the backlash to that backlash, which was people saying, everybody's got to chill out and shut the fuck up. What did you think that they weren't going to ask the question? Blah, blah, blah. Yes. And so this is and this is not new discourse. We've seen this kind of conversations where there's more backlash to the backlash than anything. And now it's become a whole thing. Now, Kevin Sherrington came out and essentially was like, I think the question was perfectly fine and the Wings acted insane. His response was, that's paraphrasing, but it was a little odd. Like, just chill out, dude. Here's my thing. I made the point that I think the question was inappropriate.
Okay.
And I went on to explain that part of the reason I think this is because AZ has made it quite clear that she does not care to discuss her relationship with Paige Beckers on a microphone, at press conferences, during games, at anything else. She very rarely has spoken about it and certainly hasn't done it on a microphone in WNBA media or in college media. This is something Paige herself has also. Now, they are publicly a couple. They've supported each other, but they don't do a ton of posting together. They are not the most public couple in the sense of sharing, whereas there are others. Yes. The other thing here is that this is her introduction into the WNBA.
Yes.
The number one thing of intrigue being her relationship to Paige, and romantically rather than as basketball players, which is an actually more interesting question for an introductory press conference, is frustrating to me because there are and I want you to hear me here.
I'm listening. I am listening.
The ecosystem of the WNBA, the social ecosystem of it, is unlike anything in sports.
You are absolutely right about that.
So when we try to apply all of our other journalistic tendencies and standards to the WNBA, what we are doing is we are centering a bunch of leagues who do not operate in the same social world and ecosystem as the WNBA. And so what you'll hear a lot is people saying, Bam gets asked about his relationship. Bam and Asia are blah, blah, blah. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift get asked blah, 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 right? No, we know Stephon Diggs was asked about Cardi B. No, I know. And I know that. The thing is, the blueprint and the basis for how WNBA players and media are handled is not defined by men's sports. It's not men's sports. This is women's sports. It is comprised of a bunch of queer women who date each other openly.
Yes.
This is not the same ecosystem, and the desire to say, this is how we do it in sports media. You need to adjust. This is how I cover the NFL, the MLB, the NBA, and so you need to adjust and center the men's sports. First of all, I already think men's sports coverage is sexist, racist, misogynist, and bullshit. You and I talk about it all the time. So why would I use that as a fucking framework for the WNBA?
I agree.
Now, do I blame anybody for being intrigued by AZ playing with Paige? No, I'm intrigued by a lot of the couples who play together. I think it's really cool and interesting. I do not think they owe me an explanation. And what came out of that was people very angry that AZ and the PR team had shut them down. That part I feel like is unfair. I also think it's okay to have been okay with the question. My thing is, I think we've lost our way in saying, well, the question had to be asked. No, a question had to be asked, and you asked the wrong one. Journalistically, we can actually ask people to utilize their platform better by asking a question that might actually elicit an answer. They had a warning that this wasn't something that they wanted to be talking about. He wanted clickbait. He asked the question he knew wasn't going to get answered and then got the response that he got, rather than saying, by the way, you can ask the question that's going to get you the answer that you want. Ask the question that might lead her into talking about what it would be like to play with Paige.
That's fair. That I agree with you.
You can sit there and say, AZ, we know you and Paige played together for 3-4 years at UConn. You're back together here. Do you think your chemistry, pre-existing chemistry going into the season is going to help you on the Dallas Wings? Where is that question? Because at the end of the day,
that's a good question.
You cannot tell me that the question needs to be asked of her about her personal relationship when she's not that. For that to be the first thing out of the gate is insane. This is not a new thing. The WNBA is not men's sports.
You're right. Tanya?
Yeah.
It's not that I'm disagreeing with you. I want to make that abundantly clear. Yeah. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. The nuance of what you are demanding is not irrational. It's not. I do agree. We also don't live in a utopia. We don't live in this fucking world. And I'm realistic. I'm blown away the question was even asked with a semblance of the tact that it was asked with. And I also hear the question that you just asked instead of
I don't
the
think that was tactful. Like that, that's when I don't think it's tactful.
I hear what you're saying.
Did you talk to the other lesbians who fuck and see if what they do to play together?
I hear what you're saying.
They're coworkers. I've fucked my coworkers my whole career until I got married. It's not that hard.
I hear what you're saying. I am not disagreeing with you. But I'm even interested in the answer of the question. And here's the thing.
But you'll get it.
But I do. But here's the thing. This is just media. Are we pretending that the media is going to be nice today? They aren't. The Wings should have been more than prepared for this.
They were.
Clearly they weren't, because what their answer was, don't answer and now scold. And now
they didn't scold.
No. There has been a quote unquote thing saying a ban for reporters that even asked the question.
Well, they were warned.
I got that. Everyone's now don't think of an elephant. What are you thinking about right now? Don't think of an elephant. What are you thinking about?
Cody.
Tanya, don't think of an elephant.
Cody, that is the same fucking shit that the NFL does all the time.
I agree. I
will not ask that. Do not ask questions about Deflategate. Do not ask questions about Deflategate.
And what should their first question be about? Deflategate.
And then they get banned. It happened.
I get it, but here's the thing. They made a story that wouldn't have been a story.
It's not. They didn't make a story.
I don't care about any of this at all. It was the only thing that people cared about going in. And you know what? There might have been a tactful way. Here, let me re-ask the question that should have been maybe slightly more tactful. And you can tell me if I'm wrong and this is the tactful way. Okay. Because
I'm ready.
Let's work on this.
Okay, here we go. Press conference.
AZ, you're the first pick overall. Congratulations and welcome to Dallas. My question for you is, Considering the fact that you have history with other players on this team, specifically Paige Beckers, who you played with in college, and the relationship you had with her on the court, not to mention the relationship you have with her off the court, and the year of separation between your play, do you think your chemistry, based on your chemistry in college and your chemistry off the court, will benefit the team going forward? Or is this a hurdle possibly?
That's just a longer version of the question I asked.
Then what the fuck? I'm not going to lie to you. I want to know the goddamn answer because honestly, this affects the team. It does. She's the first pick overall.
I asked that. That's the question I just did.
I did, but I also at least acknowledge that they have a relationship off the court.
Oh my God. Like, why? What is it about?
Because it's interesting. It is.
That everybody knows.
I know, but we haven't heard them talk about it, and Cody, I'm sorry, this is real life.
What I'm trying to tell you is you've never been a fucking journalist.
I have not.
Right? I have. So what I'm telling you is that if you want the answer, and you have been warned ahead of time and in these situations that she is not likely to answer a direct question about her relationship, you get an answer about her relationship by not asking her directly about it.
It was always gonna happen.
No, the art of this, and
yes.
I promise you.
In today's day and age, we're talking about the art of asking questions.
Do you want me to lower the fucking bar? Because
bar
you and I, this whole show is about raising the bar and holding media accountable.
That's why, but like,
is it not?
I agree with you're not hearing me. I agree with you.
No, but Cody, when you and I get on here and we talk about media critiques and we critique these people
all the time,
part of it is we would like media to be better and to adhere to the ways that it can make it better.
Agree.
There are ways to get easy to basically talk about her relationship with Paige if you ask the right question. Am I saying that is likely? No, it's just as unlikely that anybody in NFL media is going to report on Lamar Jackson without dog whistling the fuck out of him.
Every time.
I'm going to call it out.
As you should. Right? But I have to say, it is listen, I understand there's other couples in the league. Very well aware of that. The thing is, this is the first pick overall, and she's going to play with her girlfriend who they famously had a very good run together in college. And by the way, she was Rookie of the Year last year. She's a star in the league now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry.
Again, what part of this?
It's what
Cody,
everyone wants to know. And I'm sorry, you know that's going to be asked whether it's, and by the way, the question,
what if you just
was the question perfect? No.
Right. But what if you just lived in a world where the part of this is that now that so essentially the reason that everyone wants to know this now is because everybody's paying attention.
Yes.
So a lot of what the people are like, well, what if they break up and it affects team chemistry?
Okay, I don't
guess what happens when that happens all the time in the WNBA, right? And it has been for 30 years.
Yes.
This is people are projecting a lot. There's a little bit of, and I'm not saying
you're
this
right.
is not you. This is not you. So
okay.
make me very clear. There is a little bit of like queer phobia and homophobia in the idea that like these women can't function with these relationships going on, which is like not true. They're actually highly functional.
Couldn't agree more.
And so there's a lot of this. So you have to understand that part of centering queer relationships in the public space is bringing them a different kind of attention that some of them are uncomfortable with because we live in a homophobic society.
Very much.
So when people say, well, Bam in Asia, and heterosexual men having famous girlfriends who are either pop stars or other famous athletes, they're not going to have their relationships talked about the same in the public sphere as queer women. And like the idea that it's just like, well, it's all the same. You just have to do it. You have to share it. You have to. She's a black queer woman in America. And if she wants to draw a fucking line, then at some point, is she going to face the questions? Yes. If you want to journalistically get at an answer that is genuinely fair, yes. We do have to acknowledge that this is not just, well, we're curious.
No. I hear what you're saying. If she can't handle this question,
I didn't say she couldn't.
I know. I think she can. I know she more than can handle this.
Because I don't like that. I don't like that. That's very that's
no, Tanya,
patronizing.
like, this is just.
I didn't say she couldn't handle it. She
know.
doesn't want to fucking answer it.
Too bad. She's gonna be asked forever now. This is what the life is. I'm sorry. It sucks. It's not fair. It's just real.
She didn't want to answer it in her first press conference.
I agree.
Who is saying that she'll never talk about it?
I agree. I'm just telling you what is going to happen. Now that this has happened, now guess what every first question is going to be till the end of her career unless she answers the question.
No.
Is it fair?
Let's rewrite the fucking rules. Fuck you.
I would love to, but it's just not going to be the case. We're in a social media world.
It actually is, because it was not the case 2-3 years ago that the women would ever get paid. So I'm sick of fucking men talking about what is and isn't the case, especially since I've seen this shit change over and over again.
If it changes, I'll be thrilled.
And the fact of the matter is, you don't get to decide what is going to be the case anymore.
I'm not deciding. Right? I'm just telling you what is right in front of us.
No, you are, because
I just know what's going to happen.
You know how things change by people being like, "Fuck you, I'm not talking about it."
I agree, but I'm sorry.
If she wants to talk about it, she will.
I want this to happen, Tanya. I can't stress this enough.
I know.
You're trying to attack me like somehow I asked the fucking question. I didn't ask the fucking question.
I'm not attacking
I'm just telling you what is taking place and what I think is going to take place from here on out. I don't think it's right. It's just what's gonna happen.
But what I'm telling you is that what's gonna happen has been said so, like, you have to understand, that's what's been told to me every single time there is actually change ahead.
I would love this to be correct. I am a little more cynical about it.
I guarantee you 3 years ago, you also said the women will never sign a $5 million NBA contract.
You might have been right about that. That might have been you might actually, before you go back in time and you say, you might be absolutely right.
Right.
And by the way,
and this
I would be
over
thrilled
and over
to be wrong about this.
This will never happen. Women are always going to be held to this standard. You guys are just going to have to
I want to be wrong about this. I'm just. Are we not living in the world where are we not living in a world where every amount of our media is just lying
Cody,
to us?
should I stop calling out the racism
of NFL you should absolutely call it out.
It's never going to stop happening.
No,
you've never said to me, Tanya, stop talking about the Lamar Jackson.
I'm not telling you to stop talking about this. I'm telling you what I think is about to happen, and you're getting mad at me for it.
But you've never taken the same tone, right? Like, you've never taken the same tone when we talked about other stuff in media.
Because I honestly think this particular thing could have been the easiest solve of all time.
With what?
I honestly think if you just prepared for the question immediately.
They were prepared. That was prep.
Okay, the prep was, we're not answering that question. Mm-hmm. Now the question is going to be asked forever. And now, so much so that we're talking about it now.
But she might, maybe she will. Maybe she will.
And I hope, and if she does, great. And if she decides not to, that is absolutely her right and her decision.
I know you don't.
I just know what these people are going to do. I'm not going to do it.
And I'm telling you, all I'm saying is that they're, like, at some point, just like what I do with every single aspect of media, I'm gonna say, this is how you can do your job better.
You're absolutely right. But you have to. But I'm also saying there's not enough people in the journalistic world anymore.
I agree.
Every one of those press conferences aren't journalists anymore. It's bloggers. It's just as many people with podcasts.
Guy, I will say, this guy is actually a
but
pretty
this guy's
legit
an actual
journalist.
Yes, but even that guy who's a pretty legit asked the question. Like, even he did it. Like, I'm sorry.
He's just, he's an old white guy.
I'm not trying to sit here and say, she's got to sit here and answer this question, sit here and fucking defend her. Not at all.
I just don't like when people are like,
what's going to happen.
Well, but you don't. You see what you think is going
You're
to
right,
happen.
and I hope I'm wrong.
Because you keep saying it as if it's like, Tanya, you don't get it, and I do.
No. I've just seen it happen before.
But that's what it sounds like when you say, this is just what's going to happen. I'm just saying it, right? Is like, what it delivers is essentially like, hey, listen, you can say what you want to say. I agree with you, but I know what's going to happen. And I'm telling you,
this is what's going to happen. It's not what's going to happen. It's what I think is going to happen.
But
this is what I think is going to take place.
That's just how it is.
No, it's just how it usually is. And it's not getting better.
And well, it is.
You do?
The women just are signing $5 million contracts.
I'm not talking about where the women are right now. I'm talking about where media is.
Sure, media is
We just got done talking about Diana Rossini getting fucking crushed for nothing.
But do we have a show where we're just going to accept that?
No, I'm not accepting it. I'm just getting mentally prepared for what the next fucking 4 months of every question asked to her is going to be. Which is stupid.
Listen,
I think it's wrong and dumb.
Maybe she'll address it next time.
Maybe she will. And if she does, I honestly hope it just goes away forever.
And it probably the thing is, a lot of the current couples in the league are like comfortable sort of working in this space of like answering questions when people have them, or they like are a little bit more public. They post Instagram stuff together, whatever else.
By the way,
so everybody can decide.
It said right here on Instagram, because I agree with this, Jack. Just don't ask the question. None of our business. I agree. Who's a journalist?
No, you are right that it's like, I agree, don't ask the question. It's always going to be asked because people have
be asked.
They don't respect. But I will say.
I'm right about this.
So the thing is that like the other part of this, and then we'll wrap it up and we'll just go to pop culture. But like, the other part of this that I think is really interesting is that like the media protects men's like relationship secrets
big time.
Very
oh
like,
my God, yes.
Like the difference between the WNBA and men's sports is that the WNBA has out queer relationships.
Yes.
There are a lot of queer and gay relationships in professional men's sports.
Yes.
They are just not out.
Not out at all.
There are a lot of cheating men.
Watch heated rivalry.
There are a lot of men cheating on their wives.
Lots
there are a
of
lot
them.
of people hooking up with each other's wives.
All the time.
And so, and the reason that you don't hear about it is not that the media doesn't know, it's that they don't tell you.
Mm-hmm.
So when women have these like actual or like honest relationships out in the world and they decide like, hey, I'm going to draw a line. I think it's very funny who people decide to protect and whose sex lives suddenly are of pertinent interest. And when I know media protects these men and I know they help teams protect these stories.
Yes.
And everybody's like, yeah, but we got to know. We're really interested. We're really intrigued.
Tanya.
And so there is, no, I know you agree with me.
I agree wholeheartedly.
But I do think a lot of people that are watching us, this is more for them,
Yeah.
is that they don't understand how much we protect very scandalous secrets about what people are up to. And by the way, stuff that is just like everybody's like, well, there's Diana Russini, but it's Diana Russini and Mike Vrabel. That's fucking child's play, dude.
Like it's truly
Child's
nothing.
play. Yeah. Compared to some of the stuff that we have seen protected.
Even, by the
right?
way, and again, I go back to that whole thing. Like, if that turns out to be like all of your salacious thoughts were true, I still go like, seriously, this is what you guys are focused on with the shit I know out there.
Right,
you guys are nuts.
Right, and by the way, I'm actually totally fine with none of this getting out. I
True,
actually
I don't give a
want
shit.
This stuff
it's not my
reported.
business.
But I do know there's a lot of quid pro quo
Tanya,
happening.
like, I just need you to hear me out on this. I am not sitting here saying he was right for asking the question.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he was super tactful. I thought the question, I honestly don't think the question was that bad.
It could have been way worse.
Could have been I really don't think it was that bad.
It just could have been a lot better. But
it could have definitely been better. But if we're pretending that this was not going to be a question that everyone wants to hear about,
they were prepared for it.
First,
they were prepared for it, so they knew it was going to be a question.
Is.
I don't think anybody thought that it wasn't going to be
I know
asked.
that. And so here's the deal. Like, I am not disagreeing that there is a frightening double standard in this fucking nightmarish industry.
Yeah.
There is. My thought process, and you can tell me if I'm wrong,
I will.
but I don't think I am, just because I've seen this too many times. I truly think if you got out in front of it the first time, just get it out of the way, it's over.
Listen, I think that we have, and this is where I think it gets a little bit tricky. I think we've decided because we have 100 years of covering sports in a very specific way, what works and what doesn't work. And it's like, hey, if you get ahead of it and then, you like, and that's how you handle it. It's and I know you don't want to hear this, and I know it sounds woke as fuck, but like, it's a very male, white, straight, media perspective on the world. And the reality is, whether you like it or not, there's a different relationship to what those women experience when they do that than what for you. If let's say you were in this situation and you're like, I need to get ahead of it. Great. It would work for you. You're a straight white guy. Okay. It's not always it doesn't always work that way for these women. And to be quite honest, the WNBA fans don't help. They are rabid. They are obsessed with these relationships and they will not let it go.
You might be right
so
about
there
that.
is a part of it where it's like, all it's going to do if she says the wrong thing, if she makes the wrong statement, now it's fueled more shit.
Very fair point. Listen, I don't think there is a right answer exactly on her end on how she could have handled it.
Yeah.
I think they picked one. I personally would have gone a different direction. Now, am I right for that? I don't really fucking know.
Yeah, it's not like
I'm just trying. Honestly, I'm just trying to get to I'm thinking this in a sport athlete's perspective. I just want to get this stupid shit behind us as immediately as humanly possible.
It's a beautiful privilege to experience getting shit behind you. It doesn't happen for these women.
Also, I understand that, but I'm also looking at it this way: their league, starts in fucking 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Like, I hate that they're gonna have to answer this again.
But they're gonna.
I know, but it's fucking dumb.
I watched Megan Rapinoe. You still can't say Megan
You're not
Rapinoe's
wrong.
name
That's
on
a
corners
great
of the
example
internet.
to your point.
It's been fucking 6 years.
It's a great example to your point.
Like,
you're right. Listen, it's all fucked up. I'm glad it was asked and not by Barstool or Outkick.
Yeah. I wish he hadn't said what he said afterward. I didn't put it in the rundown. He was a little bit of a dick about it.
Was he? Listen, I get it. Now, by the way, I also
don't think he's the bad guy. I do think he's just a manifestation of a very lazy journalist.
Can I also say this, which we never really got to? The frightening outrage by journalists and non-journalists alike. Fucking knock it off. It wasn't that big of a deal. It's turning into a bigger deal for no reason.
Some people were mad that like the Wings shut it down.
No, I wasn't mad about it. I understood that.
No, you haven't said any of that. Like, yeah, you're not. We're disagreeing on very specific things, but like you have not. Some people were out there being like, "This is Bush League like bullshit that like the Wings even shut it down. Answer the questions, otherwise we won't even care about Caitlin Clark's charities anymore." That shit was nuts. Some people were like, if you don't answer questions about your relationship whenever we ask them, then we won't care about anything that happens off the court. That stuff was crazy. And that was actually what I was originally responding to when I responded to it on the internet. We had a deeper, more complex conversation, which is what the podcast is for. But yeah, I mean, of course, there's always going to be backlash on both sides that are like, now they're arguing with each other over stuff that never even happened.
No, it's fucking insane. No, yeah. And by the way, I freely admit, will it go away if they address it? Maybe not. You make that great point with Megan Rapinoe, but it's just.
I mean, especially, God forbid they ever break up, which they probably will because they're young women and they're both gorgeous and they're young and they should be living their lives.
Listen, man, it sucks that this is sadly a part of all of this.
Yeah.
Should it be? No, I firmly believe it shouldn't be, but it is.
Yeah.
And as much as I want to change it,
I just don't think that there's ever
in this climate.
I just don't think there's ever a world where like, well, that's how it is like a fun way to enter into or end these, because I find it to be boring and lazy.
I know, but I just watched Love Island, and you know what? Everyone fucking loves Love Island. I just watched Temptation Island. Everyone fucking loves that. It's just what fucking people are programmed to love. It's not right. It's not wrong. I fucking think I hate it. It just is what it is.
Yeah,
and that is lazy. I agree.
Yeah, it's just like I think there's a way to kind of like go into these and exit these conversations where it's not just like because the insinuation is like you and I somehow don't know that this is the status quo. We don't. Mm-hmm. The whole reason we're having the conversation is because we do know that. We do know that this is how it is, and we do know that the people who argue it very often say this is how media works, and you need to fall in line. Okay. And so I don't want to end the conversation on it is what it is, because there is a chance that if people like you and I continue to have these conversations and we continue to inch these conversations forward in some way, shape, or form, that it's not what it is. And at the very least, maybe the women deciding that they are not going to exist in an ecosystem of men's sports and they're going to push their own path forward, even in a league like the WNBA, which is sexist in its own right, by the way. The WNBA is kind of a shit show on its own. They're not great to the women all the time. Mm-hmm. Ending on it is what it is like, that's kind of what we don't do on the show, you and I. Like we decide to be a little bit smarter than that.
But I'm just seeing this is turned into something it didn't need to turn into, but it might have anyways. And you make that point. It might have anyways.
She's been preparing for this.
They made a choice.
She's known for a long time.
They made a choice. I disagreed with the choice. Doesn't mean I'm right. It's just not the tactic I would have taken.
Which means nothing to me.
I know it does.
Like, why would the tactic of a
I honestly
white
think
man,
getting in front because I honestly think tactfully just getting in front of something is better than not. I just think it is.
Well,
and if you don't think it is, that's fine. I think this was a nothing thing from the get-go that is now something.
It was always something.
I get that, but because it's a league filled with couples already, I honestly still felt it was nothing and could have been gone within an hour. Now, I might be wrong on my judgment of that, but I don't think I am. But that's okay. We don't have to agree on everything.
We'll never know.
We'll never fucking know. Here's what I do know. My thought would have ended it. This thought kept it going and will keep it going. We'll never know. I feel better about my thought, but hey.
What do you mean?
If we just addressed it. But listen, I don't know if I'm right. I might be wrong. Fair?
Yeah.
Deal. I think we should not go to Pop Culture Corner. I think we should actually save that for Monday.
Okay.
And hear me out why.
Because we have a good one.
Because the second thing is happening this weekend, and we should talk about it before it happens.
Fair enough. WWE.
Oh, God.
Your favorite topic.
I fucking hate it. I hate wrestling, but I do acknowledge that WrestleMania is this weekend.
Yeah.
So this is something that is a little more time sensitive.
Triple H is defending Pat McAfee in his WrestleMania 42 role. Cool. They had all kinds of people on ESPN this weekend, just obviously promoting it. There is cross promotion, obviously, between the WWE and ESPN because of their partnership. And there has been a lot of outrage and backlash from WWE fans about Pat McAfee involving himself in the Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton match. Now, that makes sense considering these Randy Orton's like one of the greatest of his era. Cody Rhodes is one of the faces of the industry, and they're throwing Pat McAfee into the mix where nobody wants him. He is a clown. He's loud. He's obnoxious. And where he belongs is on a mic, if anything, or out of the stadium altogether. Now, the bigger problem is that this issue, which is why it's interesting that Triple H is out there defending him, which he has to do, is that the reporting has been from, I think it was originally Dave Meltzer, that the McAfee insert came from TKO and Ari Emanuel above Triple H. That they came from above and ham-fisted it in. Fightful Select separately reported the move was designed as corporate synergy tied to WWE's new ESPN partnership, with McAfee serving as a recognizable face for both platforms.
It's actually the latter that I absolutely believe. A little bit more than the first one, but I believe both of them.
Yeah, well, both of them are sort of, they could be,
they're both probably true.
Essentially, it's probably both.
But the second part is the thing that I'm like, absolutely,
yeah, they're
100%.
Like, well, we have a guy who's worked for both companies. Now,
exactly.
I will say this, I don't actually hate the idea that you would do the synergy of Pat McAfee between WWE and ESPN. It's kind of obvious. He's worked for both companies. He is in the middle of the Venn diagram. What didn't need to happen was them inserting him in a very lame ass thing
of fucking WrestleMania.
Right, between two of their most famous wrestlers who have a very specific storyline between the two of them that needs zero extra, sort of mechanisms around it. So here's the thing: there's definitely there's a lot of on-air. Like Cody Rhodes and a couple other people have spoken out about this in a way that seems like they're supposed to be, you're supposed to buy it as kayfabe, right? That they're but I don't think they are. I think that they're both Cody Rhodes and CM Punk have said some stuff where it's they're saying it in character, but I think they actually just don't fucking care for it. If I was Cody Rhodes, wouldn't want this motherfucker in my match.
It's CM Yacht Rock now. Slow down.
I'm not. He called him Pat McAfee, which was really funny because you can't really say anything because you could just be like, oh, I said McAfee.
I feel. What are you talking about? I never said that.
Pat McAfee. I mean McAfee. What?
I have never said anything about his name. I'm actually offended because I get along with Pat, and I would never call him McAfee. That is stupid.
We love it.
But you love it. I get along with Pat.
You like Pat? Yeah.
No, I mean I've never watched his work, but I get along with him. I've
never watched his work.
To be fair, I've never watched his work because one, I've always been on at the same time as him, and two, never watched his work. I don't really watch anyone's work.
I'm not gonna lie to you. You're not missing anything. Pat's ridiculous.
I don't know that. He might be the greatest who's ever lived.
No, Pat.
I wouldn't know because I don't watch wrestling and I don't watch
Pat. The best that Pat ever. If everybody would use correctly, Pat would always be someone else's sidekick. He's so good as a goddamn sidekick. He's when you do him on college football.
Everything I've seen him doing that seems here's
when he's
my ingestion of Pat is always on clips that are online that just pass my feed. Yeah. I've never actually sat down and watched Pat's show. And I swear to God, it's always because I'm literally always been on at the same time as him. I'm not.
He's kind of like a MAGA suck up.
And I hate to be
don't
this
think
guy.
He's fully MAGA, but he's a MAGA suck up. He said some pretty problematic.
Oh, I've seen that shit.
Yeah.
I've seen all that shit. But I always wonder, is that cherry picked because of media shit?
No,
I don't
know. No, I've watched a decent amount.
Okay, then I listen.
He's a little bit of a prick, but I also don't think he's I will say, I actually just think he's one of those people who's just not that smart and is naturally funny and charming.
Okay, yeah, and I don't even watch ESPN
That's
anymore.
a combination that gets you in trouble a lot when you're really naturally funny and charming and also kind of dumb. Because you're great for television, but then you get exactly. Yes. And so that's kind of what ends up happening.
Elections.
Mm-hmm. And so I actually don't dislike him as a person on TV. I just think he's very easy to sway, and he's kind of in that demographic of people who are well, yeah, it does seem kind of dumb that people think Angel Reese is better than Caitlin Clark. You're literally no one said that, but he's very easy to influence in that way. But my thing is, the backlash to WWE involving Pat McAfee, this is something that's been going on for a while. There's other things that have been going on with Logan Paul and other people that have been brought in to the point where I've never really seen the bubble closer to bursting since WWE made a resurgence about right before the pandemic. The bubble of this corporate owned, sticking their little fingies into everything feels kind of like it's about to burst. And I think that it'll be interesting to see how WrestleMania goes ratings wise and reception wise. What do you think there's a chance that this is a recession indicator in terms of like the issues around this corporate maneuvering in sports and sports entertainment?
I think the boom actually ended like a year ago.
Okay.
I think the boom ended last.
I don't mean specifically to WWE though.
No, I mean AEW. I mean the wrestling boom.
But
I think
also
it's
just
that.
like the corporate
But there's also a corporate maneuvering in there, and
okay.
I'm actually want to add a company into that. I want to add the UFC into that.
Right.
The UFC, which sold their soul, which by the way, TKO, same company as WWE.
Right, which you told us.
Same exact company. It's UFC and WWE are one company under the umbrella of a company called TKO.
Right.
TKO, which is making all these really rash decisions with WWE, and you call them rash, call them whatever you want, call them corporate synergy, call it whatever the hell you want. Everything I've seen in wrestling in the last year has been atrociously bad. Anything I've seen from last year was atrociously bad. The Rock has become poison to almost everything he's touched as of late. Yeah. Triple H is...
he's just Vince McMahon again.
It seemed like everyone was really excited when Triple H took over, and that lasted all of a year and a half.
You agree? I think
because I used to watch his NXT shit and thinking...
him and the Heartbreak Kid... Shawn Michaels,
yeah.
We're doing a great job with it.
They were.
I think you and I both agree that you can track Triple H's downfall to the TKO.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
The moment TKO came in is the moment this company turned into, we're going the celebrity route. We're going this, we're going that.
And they were
and I got to say,
was there 2 WrestleManias between when Vince was ousted and it was Triple H running the show? There maybe
that
there was
sounds
one,
about
but I think there was 2.
But I'm just saying,
and they were kind of. I was watching. I was a fan. I was watching, and it was kind of crushing.
Yeah.
The bloodline was crushing. Everything was going real well, and then it all
was a house of cards because you got a guy like Roman Reigns who is a very talented cat. Can't show up all that often anymore due to
he's been kind of crushing it.
When he shows up, he's great, but he's not. He is now a quote unquote part timer.
He's also been through cancer twice.
No. That's not because of any other reason.
No, it's more just like context.
He went through cancer. Like the fact that he shows up at all
their stars are in their late 30s, early 40s.
CM Punk is in his 40s.
Yeah.
CM Punk is not the same CM Punk he once was. Both
Randy
in the
Orton
ring
is nearly 50.
and in the mic. CM Punk has never won a wrestling match. Cody Rhodes has never won a wrestling match against the letter S. So I'm not really worried about any of his other shit.
He also is just
he's also the fucking worst.
He's just not a good wrestler.
Oh,
I don't understand how people keep trying to tell me he's a good wrestler.
I don't fucking get it. But listen, it's not my business. What am I? I'm not a wrestling expert.
It's so frustrating to watch.
I hate their product. I hate what their product has become.
Yeah.
UFC, their product is, as far as I can tell, is officially dead because they are a full-on MAGA product, and I don't know if you've seen how great MAGA is doing as of late.
They're not in the graces of the American people, really.
All I can say is the UFC, based on their work, and by the way, I think it's going to be funny. I'm interested to see what it does to the Paramount Plus numbers as time goes forward because they're trying to buy up everything, but at some point, money has to run out when people aren't watching your shit.
I agree.
So
there's a pyramid scheme afoot. You cannot convince me otherwise.
I would love if somehow the Ellison's books were very public. I would love just to get a real accountant in there and do some digging.
Oh my God! I mean, listen, I am hoping that I have always felt that the WWE, because of their rabid fandom, are kind of a little. If something's happening with them, they are a little ahead of the curve on what might be happening in certain other business, sort of relationships in sports. they sometimes set the standard of how these leagues handle their social media, how they these leagues have been taking tips kind of on the low from WWE.
I would actually like to address something by some of these actually talking about since this resurgence of pro wrestling, and there has been a resurgence. Yeah, make no mistake, there was an absolute boom. AEW came into play. They both survived COVID. You can make the argument that AEW is more successful than WCW was, and I was a huge WCW fan. They've been on television longer than WCW.
Wow,
Monday
really?
Nitro has been on.
That's crazy.
That's crazy if you really think about it. By the way, Monday Nitro was the #1 viewed cable program in America for an entire year and a half. And then Raw started beating the crap out of them again. And it was 97, 98 was nuts when it came to wrestling. Okay. And we really hit that again in these last couple of years. But I want to also say, you say there's more on TV. TNA has a partnership with WWE.
Wait, sorry, what's the point?
He's trying to say, well, there's more things on TV. There's more companies that are big. Ring of Honor is on television. Yes, they are also in ownership by AEW, which is owned by the Khan family. WWE is owned by TKO, and they have a partnership with Anthem and TNA. So, they're being subsidized by the bigger companies. So it's not, I don't think there's more companies. It's just the companies and their minor league systems, and they also are in bed with the television programs that's how it's working. Wrestling right now,
it's kind of like
I'm going to use what you said. It's a fucking pyramid scheme. It seems at the moment.
It's like every time you go to a different fast food chain and you realize they're owned by the same parent company.
Yeah. Chipotle's killing it. It's McDonald's.
Yeah, right. You're cool. Well, I guess it's all the same thing. Yeah.
So it's listen, I hear what you're saying. I'm not trying to shit on what wrestling has done these last couple of years. It was very impressive. I think it's a bubble, and the bubble is bursting as we currently speak. And the corporate nature of what it currently is finally showing the. I always thought wrestling was a house of cards, the industry as itself, already the way it's set up. It's a carny industry built on a lot of really ugliness. And now you get corporate hedge fund money in there, and now you got a lot of extra cooks in the kitchen, and we're talking billions upon billions of dollars that are involved now that want to now take the carny industry and make it mainstream.
Yeah, it's almost like it's as ugly as the carny part of it was. It's like, well, fuck, man. At least at least there was some authenticity to it a little bit.
It had a thing to it. Now,
but yeah, you can't.
So maybe in 10 years we'll finally look at this like it's working. And listen, the few times I watched ESPN this week, every time a wrestler came on, I turned the channel.
Yeah,
it's nauseating.
Yeah,
I saw Stephen A. Smith gave his top 5 favorite wrestling shit this week. I could give a fuck. I saw the Usos on try to start a fight with Cameron. Enough. I
someone
hate
was like,
all of this.
I saw someone be like, whether it's a work or real, this is really funny. I was like, oh, you think it's real?
None of it's real, and none of it's funny. It's not even good. It's just bad acting.
I was confused because I was like, why do I care about Jey Uso and Cameron?
I'm Jesus Christ, Cameron?
Yeah, I don't. Is Cameron
Is O-Town in a feud with somebody? Actually, is he taking on Damian Priest? I want to watch that.
That'd actually be pretty. Bring back O-Town. We've been saying bring back O-Town.
Who was the one member of NSYNC that went on his own and didn't go well? The one with the longer hair. He had longer hair at the time.
JC?
JC. Is JC coming in to fucking battle fucking...
JC
who's a wrestler that's still there that it's been a while since I've watched.
Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn. Is Sami Zayn JC getting after it?
Yeah.
I'll admit.
Sami Zayn did fight our dude from.
Is Jelly Roll still involved with WrestleMania?
Probably.
What a fucking shit show.
I know Logan Paul and I Show Speed are involved, and then
listen,
whatever.
If this is what you guys are into.
Did you ever see? That was what it was. Sami Zayn, Johnny Knoxville.
Never saw it.
That was actually a good stupid match. When they do the. Yeah.
If I can make a suggestion to any wrestling fan that's watching. WrestleMania 13, Bret Hart, the Hitman versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. It is a beautiful piece of storytelling, 93? Visual wrestling. This was 1997. WrestleMania 13.
Oh, this was right after This is right after Stone Cold popped in that.
This was the famous quote-unquote double turn, something that you cannot do, where 2 wrestlers enter the ring, one's a babyface, one is a heel, and they exit the ring the exact opposite. Stone Cold Steve Austin was an evil son of a bitch. Bret Hart was just a lovable Canadian. They walked out reviled and loved in the opposite direction. Beautiful work by the Hitman and Stone Cold Steve Austin. If you are a fan of the art of pro wrestling in that, please just go watch Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret the Hitman Hart, WrestleMania 13, 1997.
You can't recreate the feeling, though. You can't recreate the feeling of going in believing that Bret Hart was the good guy. That's like the beautiful part. Yeah.
That's when wrestling is like, holy shit, you could do this?
Stone Cold Steve Austin, like that stretch of time, no one was better.
Gold.
No one was better. Yeah.
Pure gold, man.
And Bret Hart, everybody loves. So.
I will die on the hill that Bret Hart was my favorite wrestler of all time.
I feel like a lot of people.
I think there were things he could do in the. Now, was he the best on the mic? No, he was not. But man, oh man, when he was in the ring and like what he could do in the ring, the man made me believe what was happening was real.
It almost sounds like he's on your Mount Rushmore.
I fucking hate you. I hate you almost as much as I hate Kurt Schilling. We didn't get to the bloody sock today. We're very sorry. We will get to it on Monday.
Probably for the best.
Probably for the best. It would have gotten very heated. This was a heated show. Apparently, I'm a sexist.
I did not say that.
It felt like it.
Sometimes you're just going to have to take a tough conversation.
I don't care about your opinion, Cody, because you're just a white man from America. That was actually said today.
That's actually not the quote at all.
You're right. I paraphrased.
I did say that what you would do might be different than a black woman. But
that is fair. That is fair. You did say that. Anyways, this has been The Regulars. Like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you also like, share, and subscribe where your favorite podcasts. And join us on Monday. We will get to the bottom of the bloody sock. And by the way, we do have a pop culture corner that we're going to say for Monday.
Oh, yeah.
now.
I am actually excited about that.
Because it is actually interesting.
You came up with something for the rundown, and it was very good.
I did.
It was really good.
God. See, I contribute. Guys, we're The Regulars. I'm Cody Decker.
I'm Tyler Ray Fox, and fuck Kurt Schilling.
Oh, forever.